Hello there, everybody. How are y'all doing today? Welcome back to the channel. Um, we have a aircraft video for you guys today. Um, well, it's been quite a while. I have not posted a video in 3 months, and I am terribly sorry for all of that. I have been very busy lately with school and all that stuff. Now that we have this outbreak of COVID-19 going around on the planet and fucking everybody up, there's not really a whole lot I can do at the moment besides sit inside. So, I decided after 3 months I would finally post a video. We have reached over 100 subscribers lately, and it's all thanks to you guys. I never thought that the channel would actually ever reach that much. I just thought that, you know, this would just be something that I could do just to pass time. But it's become a big-time channel. And one of my most viewed videos and liked videos is the how to get Need for Speed Payback working with a Thrustmaster wheel. And you guys have tons and tons of questions about that, and I am very happy to try my best to answer all of those for you guys, because I love when you guys leave me comments and all that stuff. And it helps out, because that gives me a chance to talk to you guys and see what you guys prefer, what you like or dislike about things. So always leave comments in videos, doesn't matter what they are. But yeah, that one video gets the most comments, and I did that about a year or two ago. Yeah, it's got over 37,000 views right now. It's going nuts. You guys are all asking about it and all that stuff, and it was a strange method. I don't even know if it's patched or not. Probably isn't. Because, I mean, last time I played Need for Speed Payback, it worked and all that stuff. And a few of you guys have asked me about Need for Speed Heat. I do not have that game yet. I will probably be getting that shortly. I don't know. I mean, it's $80 or something like that right now. I don't know if I want it or not. And I remember one of you guys were asking about wheel support on that game. I have no clue if Need for Speed Payback supports wheel. It most likely would on PC, because you can do everything on a PC. But on a console, I have no idea. I would try that method out, and if that doesn't work, I mean, I don't know. But, you know, give it a try. And you guys are probably wondering what the heck has been going on with the Flight Simulator X aircraft reviews. My computer has contracted COVID-19 lately, and it is being a bastard and not allowing my mic to cooperate. So whenever I try to do a video on there, I get no sound. So pretty much through those, I think it was 3 videos or something like that, that I recently posted about the Graf Zeppelin, the 109, and I believe the Dolphin and the Junkers Ju-88. Those 4 videos have no sound on them. And I believe it's because my computer, it either has COVID-19 or it just does not want to allow my mic to work anymore with it, which is a pain in the arse. So, yeah, that sucks a lot. So I can't really do those anymore unless you guys really want to just hear silence and just watch a plane fly around. Like, how's that a Flight Simulator X review, eh? Without me actually telling you what's going on. So I'm going to try getting those fixed, because, I mean, it sucks. My buddy was watching a few of them, and he told me there's no sound on them. And the thing was is that I posted those without rewatching them, making sure everything's okay. I just posted immediately, which is what you should not do. And yeah, so there's no sound on those. So if you want to watch those, you won't hear anything besides the aircraft, and that's it. So that kind of sucks. But all that stuff is out of the way. We've got 100 subscribers and over. I think we have 106 now, 107. But I have one last thing in mind, and it was War Thunder. I have not made a War Thunder video, I think, in a year or something like that almost. And I can do aircraft reviews on here. It won't be the same, but I mean, it's the best thing I can get at the moment, with you guys being able to hear the facts that I'm telling you. So, the aircraft that we are going to be reviewing today is the P-36 Kitty Hawk, or just Hawk. It was a very, very old aircraft. It was not used in World War I. It was built in 1935. That's when its first flight was, May 6th. And it's a single seat, as you can easily see. And its machine guns are right behind the propeller, which is a very stupid position to put them, but the thing is that these guns here are magically somewhat timed to fire when your propeller blade has that small little gap opening. I don't know how it works. Or they're synced, I don't freaking know. All I know is that if they don't, or like if they malfunction, you shoot your propeller off. It's a shame. It's a really shame. Anyway, the introduction of the aircraft was in 1938, so almost around the same time as Spitfire. Not really, kind of. I mean, Spitfire was built way before this thing, but the Spitfire had its first flight around the same time as this aircraft did. There was quite a few of them built. There was like around 900 of them built. And these things, they're cheap. Well, back then they were cheap. These things costed $23,000. I mean, you could buy a smart car with that money, okay? You can buy a fucking smart car with that. Or I don't know who would buy a smart for two. Those things are awful. Unless you really want to get smart the more you drive, I don't know. I mean, take a gamble. Anyway, so let's get into the aircraft's general characteristics. So, of course, it has a crew of one. You see the little pilot sitting in there. This radio gets annoying. So the aircraft, very light. These things were not heavy. Most aircraft, they weren't heavy at all. It's a very light piece of crap. It's a tin can. These things are made of very thin aluminum, some steel, bit of metal. They stopped the all-metal frames, I think, a little bit after the tri-motor, which is the only aircraft Ford ever made. But this plane is 5 tons. That's it. It's a 5-ton plane. It's not that heavy. So, anyway, its power plant is a Pratt & Whitney R1830, or 1830. Dash 17. It's a twin wasp, 14-cylinder air-cooled radio piston engine, producing 1,500 horsepower, which is actually pretty good. It had 3 propellers, so it's a tri-propellered aircraft. Its maximum speed was 313 miles an hour. That's very fast for an old plane like this, but that's pretty impressive for these things here, which is really good. It wasn't the best fighter aircraft, but I mean, it worked. Its cruising speed, though, was 270 miles an hour, so the only way that this aircraft would reach 313 is if you dived it, like really dived it. The aircraft's service ceiling was 32,700 feet, which is pretty good. The aircraft could get up to about 3,400 feet per minute, which is actually not bad. That's really impressive, sort of. And yeah, so pretty much that's what you got for its general characteristics. Its armament here, you have one 7.62 millimeter M1919 Browning machine gun. So that would probably be the little shit in the front. And I believe if these things were modded, you could have machine guns on the wings, which I mean would probably be a way better choice. If you do choose, you could also have one 12.7 millimeter M2 Browning machine gun. Those could be probably either both of the things in the nose, or you could have 2 on the sides of your wings, if you so well choose. But I have not seen a P-36 with machine guns on the wings. But without further ado, let's get this aircraft in the air, because you guys are probably tired of hearing me talk so much. So let's get it in the air, shall we? So you have a very basic cockpit here. It's very simple. War Thunder does make very, very highly detailed cockpits. War Thunder's been updating the crap out of itself lately, which is actually really good. They've put ships in the game, newer tanks, newer countries, all that kind of stuff. So it's really cool that War Thunder keeps on updating itself constantly. Because I remember when I was first playing this game, years back, like when we first started doing these videos, I wouldn't do any commentary. I would just take a plane, fly it, and then that's it, and just mess around with it. So right now we're flying in realistic battles, because I find realistic to be a lot better, because you feel the aircraft fly a bit better, and it responds more, and it doesn't respond like it's in an arcade game. And I prefer realistic because that's how it is supposed to fly. So the 36 isn't the most maneuverable aircraft. Like, if you want to take this thing into a dogfight, you gotta know how it works. I mean, like, you're not gonna be dodging 109s as easy as, could say, a Spitfire. These aircraft, they're sluggish. They are quite sluggish, and they're not necessarily the best when it comes to dogfighting. I mean, it's a decent starter aircraft. I mean, if you want, it can take out a few, like, P-36s or something like that, or maybe a P-26 at the least, you know, because those are crappy. We all know that. But in general, like, I mean, you could use this thing in arcade battles. It's probably the best it would do. In realistic, you'd probably crash if you do a boom and zoom with this thing, because that's not what this aircraft was built for. And when you do, like, very sharp maneuvers, like, let's say you had an enemy on your tail, and you tried to, like, go, like, yanking your stick right up or something like that at him, you could easily stall the aircraft and knock your pilot right out, which, I mean, would suck. So I wouldn't really recommend doing that, and boom and zoom tactics are just not going to cut it for this airplane. And its guns are very weak. These are very shitty. Like, sorry to say it. These are very crappy guns. They're not really going to do a whole lot. You can just see there, shooting that frickin' armored truck was a pain in the arse. It's not going to really destroy that thing anytime soon, so I'm not even going to try with that. The aircraft after this, though, I might do the P-40, which is a lot better airplane. It's more faster, it's way more maneuverable, and has better guns. The P-36 was pretty much just a trainer aircraft, and pretty much was just a very average fighter at the same time. It couldn't really do a whole lot. It was just not really all there, but I mean, it did its job, but not as good as a lot of people thought it was going to do. And I'm not trying to put the aircraft down, I'm just saying my honest opinion, at least in this game. But I mean, it handles okay, but at high speeds, like you see there, I can barely turn the airplane. That is because of a lot of drag. This airplane produces a shit ton of it. Because if you look at the wings here, they're not necessarily that aerodynamic. Like, if you look at the front of them, they're pretty fat and they look thick as well. So quite a bit of air kind of just smashes into it instead of goes nice and smoothly over it like a P-51 Mustangs does. And you also got to mention this thing has no scoop on the nose. It just has that flat, frickin' fat piece right there. That causes a lot of drag as well. And the aircraft isn't necessarily capable of maneuvering at very high speeds, and I've figured that out a lot of times dogfighting with this airplane. It can't maneuver for shit in high speeds, which sucks, but I mean, it's true. It's sluggish at high speeds, so if you guys are wanting to do boom and zoom tactics at, like, let's say you're at, like, maybe 2,000 feet and you were trying to attack a anti-aircraft machine or a truck, and you went down and you pulled right up, the airplane wouldn't respond. It would respond, but it would respond so slow that you would just, you'd smash right into the ground. And that's your G-force and all that stuff, and just the insane amount of drag this thing produces because it has no scoop. It just has that flat slab piece right there where its engine is, which causes a lot of drag. Even though this thing shockingly was able to reach a good speed, it didn't really do a whole lot well. But in the end, it's a nice airplane to fly. I would recommend flying this only if you guys, like, are doing test flights. Do not necessarily put this thing to a dogfight. It will not do you any well. Because it's just not really the best airplane to fly in dogfights. You'll probably get shot down a lot. I mean, it's decently armored, don't get me wrong, but I mean, it's just not necessarily the world's best airplane to fly all the time. But for our next review, though, I will be doing the P-40, and that airplane has a big bump up than this thing does. And also landing in this game is a really, really interesting just fashion, because I can't land it normally, because I usually use my yoke, and I can't hook my yoke up to this thing. I do have Thrustmaster yoke, though, for the PS4, the HOTAS, the T4 HOTAS controller, and that thing's pretty cool. Alright, now that we are on the ground, well guys, that'll be it for about this video, but I will be doing the P-40 right now, so stay tuned for that, and I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little review of the P-36 Hawk. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day if you do not watch the P-41, but as always, take care.